Good morning, campers. I wanted to show you that sign because this is Cross Ave. Okay, this road here behind me. And that sign, when you come up, this is coming southbound, says Angel's Rest, and it's pointing across the trail to, the trail that continues on the other side of the road. That's confusing because Angel's Rest is not only the name of the hostel I stayed in, it's the name of a view. It's Angel's Rest Viewpoint or Lookout. So when you see that sign, it's not saying Angel's Rest Hostel this way. It's saying the Angel's Rest View is that way. So if you want to go to the hostel, you got to go down Cross Ave. You can call them and get a ride. It's only about a mile walk, and it's all flatter downhill. And you just walk down Cross Ave, and you can use your Google Maps or whatever to guide you there. But just wanted to point that out. If you come into Parisburg and you figure out I'm gonna go down Cross Ave, don't follow that sign thinking that sign's leading you to the hostel. It's not. It's leading you to the view called Angel's Rest. Okay, I'm on the trail. I'm headed out of Parisburg. Mountain Mike just dropped me off. Thanks, Mountain Mike. Highly recommend Angel's Rest, especially if you can get a private room. You want to splurge and treat yourself. It's wonderful. Private rooms are in a separate house, and you have full use of the kitchen and the living area and so on. It's great. Very, very nice setting. Everything you need, pretty much. Not a place to do resupply though, because the grocery store is like a quarter-mile walk. So, 10 minutes you're at the grocery store. Today's 10.7 miles to the Woods Hole Hostel, which is a half-mile off trail, so it's really 11.2 miles. Forgive me, I'm going uphill here first thing in the morning, 8:15, and I'm just getting started, and it's straight uphill. I have like a 2,000-foot climb first thing. Whew. So, I'm going straight to another hostel tonight because it's convenient. It's 11 miles, a little bit short, but that's okay. It's supposed to rain today, so I get wet, I can get there and get dried out. Spend the night in the bed again. And then tomorrow, going to another hostel, Weary Feet Hostel. That's a bigger walk. It's about 15.2 mile walk. That's also half mile off trail. But again, it's supposed to be rainy the next couple days, so if I can keep getting into a hostel each, 3 nights in a row and get dried out and sleep in a bed, all the better, right? So after this big climb, it's mostly just, up and down, up and down, up and downs, moderate ups and downs. So I'll have the big climb out of the way early. But short day, and if it's raining, I'm not going to be able to shoot much video. So we'll see how it goes. I got my pack cover on, and I have my rain suit strapped to the top of my pack. So if it does start to rain, hopefully I can get my pack off, pull back the pack cover, take out my rain suit, detach it. It's strapped down with a strap right now. Unlock the strap, throw on my rain jacket and my rain kilt, and stay as dry as possible. So we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, and I'm freshly resupplied. So I got a good 6 days of food on me. So I figure my pack's probably 30 to 32 pounds because I'm also carrying 2 liters of water. So, I'm a bit heavy, but this will get me all the way to Atkins, Virginia, where I'm going to get a room at the Relax Inn. That'll probably be Thursday or Friday at the latest. In order to make it by Thursday, I have to do a couple of bigger days, like 16, 17 mile days. So we'll see what happens there. Okay, so I'm maybe halfway up to this Angel's Rest spot. And it's mostly uphill. A few little short, flat stretches. Switchbacks are pretty good. It's not super steep. It's just long and consistently uphill. So I want to get up there before 10, which I don't think will be a problem, because that's when they're calling for showers to potentially start. And then it says 2 p.m. is almost certainly going to be rain by 2 p.m. So that means at some point I'm gonna have to put my rain suit on, because I won't be able to get to the hostel until probably between 3 and 4 is my guess. And I don't want to put my rain suit on until I absolutely have to, because I don't want to start perspiring underneath it and getting wet that way, because then what's the point? You're just gonna get all wet with sweat, then what's the difference? Wet with sweat, wet with rain, either way you're wet. And plus it's gross when you're all sweaty underneath a rain jacket. Oh, look at these rock formations. Look at this one here on the left. Imagine getting under there. Squash. It's kind of cool. Like the set of some caveman movie back there or something. Okay, I'm an hour in, and it's gotten steeper as I get closer to the top. I've made 1.8 miles in 1 hour, which is pretty good going up this hill, side of this mountain here. I'm getting above the cloud layer, or into the cloud layer, starting to get a little foggy up here, and I can feel little pinpricks of moisture on my skin. I don't know if that's just the little tiny water droplets in the air hitting my skin. They're just floating around in the cloud, or if it's actually starting to precipitate a little bit. But I got about 3/4 of a mile to the high point, and then it's downhill. So I want to get up there before any real rain starts, so I can have the hard part over, and then put on my rain suit if I need to, and not get all sweaty because I'll be going downhill and not working as hard. Not going that way. That's the way to view the Angel's Rest view rock. Not going that way. I'm going this way. I'm continuing up the AT. Got to get up to high elevation so I can start my downhill in case it starts raining. Well, I made it to the Paris ledges, but there's a whole lot of nothing to see. There's the ledges. That's scary. Look at that rock. Imagine slipping off of that, not being able to see what's down there. Yikes. All right, so I'm going to start down now. I have half a mind to put my kilt on, but I don't get the sense it's going to be like a sudden, storm, just like hitting, like sheets of rain all of a sudden. I think it's going to start slow, kind of sprinkle, kind of build. I'm up here in the clouds. I mean, I am in the clouds. It's foggy, so I'm just going to keep going. And if it does start to sprinkle, precipitate, I'll put on my rain suit, because I have the luxury of not having to go very fast. I'm already over 2 miles in, so I got about 8.5 miles or so to go, and not too tough. The big climb is over. I have other climbs, but they're smaller, so we'll see. Trail's getting a little overgrown. I'm just gonna keep plugging away until I have to make that call that, okay, it's time now to put on my rain suit. But I'm gonna wait till last minute. Hopefully I'll time it right. I just checked the weather, and I didn't have a strong enough signal to pull up the radar map to see what was coming, but you can see on the little thumbnail thing, there's definite rain coming off to the west, and it's like a 90-something% chance of rain today, and like an 80% chance tomorrow, and then like a 60% chance on Monday. So unfortunately, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be camping. I stopped because there's a cool spider web I'm going to take a picture of. So anyway, it's going to be a wet 3 days. Okay, so as you can see, it's really starting to fog in. And the trees are so laden with moisture that it's dripping off the leaves like dew, you know. So I've come 3.8 miles in 2 hours. It would have been over 4, but I stopped to talk to a section hiker for almost 10 minutes. I was talking with him. So about 2 mile an hour pace. I got about 6.8 miles to the side trail that leads to the hostel. So, and that's about half a mile off trail. So a little over 7.25 miles, call it. And the shelter is 4.6, 4.5, roughly from here. So I'll stop there and I'll take my sit-down lunch at the shelter. It'll probably be raining by then. That's going to be a good 2. That'll be probably 12:30 or so. I'm still holding off on putting on my rain suit. I'm kind of gambling at this point because it really feels like it could just start raining any moment. Just the air, I could feel pinpricks of water on my skin, and you just look at this. I mean, it's just on the verge of just dumping rain, which will be a good thing because it's dry. In fact, they warned me. They said the next 25 miles is okay for water. So I'm doing about 11 today and about 15 tomorrow. So there's 26. So that's okay until I get to the next hostel tomorrow night. But then the 25 miles after that, it gets dry. So if we get some good rain today and tomorrow, and even on Monday, that could replenish the water supplies south of here, I'm hoping, so that I won't have a water issue, because that's going to be a big concern of mine. You know, a 25-mile stretch with no water, or very, very poor water sources, that's tough. That's 2 days for me. That's 2 days of hiking, or a solid day and a half of hard hiking, long hiking during the day. So I can't be carrying all my water for 25 miles. That's just not going to happen. So I'm going to have my fingers crossed, and I'm going to have a backup plan so that if, you know, water sources still aren't reliable for whatever reason after the rain, I'll have an option. Maybe there's a road I can hitch into a town and, you know, fill up my water and then hitch back or something. I don't know. We'll see. I'll ask at the hostels ahead too, see what they recommend. But yeah, I'm within an hour of putting on my rain suit. If it holds off till 11, I'll probably put it on by 11 because I'm just getting dripped on and I'm just going to get damp anyway. So, okay. You can see I stopped at this power station or power tower, electrical tower, to put on my rain suit. I got my rain jacket and my rain kilt on. It's dripping now a little more heavily. In fact, I'm going to tuck my phone in my pocket up underneath the kilt and keep that dry. But making good time, and it hasn't really started rain. It's just kind of like dripping. It's just kind of an annoying drip. So I figured now is as good a time as any. So let's see how I do. Make sure I don't sweat out in this thing. Back there in the woods is a Mylar birthday balloon. That's the problem with those things. They're just going to come down anywhere. So that balloon right there, unless somebody comes and cleans it out, that's going to be there for decades. Hopefully no animal will try to eat it. That's the problem with those things. They don't biodegrade. You know, people lose them and they wind up landing in a forest somewhere and then just becoming litter and staying there for decades and decades. Mylar isn't going to decompose very quickly. So if you get Mylar balloons, make sure you hold on to them, folks. Don't let them fly. Here at the Doc's Knob shelter, they went to the trouble to build this nice deck out in front of the shelter. But they didn't put a roof over it. The roof ends right here. So this is all soaking wet, so I couldn't enjoy any of the seating during my break. I had to sit inside here. And there's not much to sit on. It's only like a 6-inch drop off here. So tiny shelter. You're gonna fit 6 tops. 4 would be nice and roomy and comfy. Well, not comfy, but roomy. The shelters aren't comfy, but yeah. So you get 3 on either side of that pillar, that post, and then you got this nice outside area if the weather's good, but it's raining. Okay, I'll give you a quick tour of my room here at the Woods Hole Hostel. I decided to get a private room just because it's cold and rainy out, and the bunkhouse is real drafty. It's more or less got these sliding open doors, and it just didn't look like it was going to be conducive to a good night's sleep and getting warm and dry. So here's my room. It's the door, of course. Got my rain jacket hanging up. Bed. A couple of nightstands and lamps. I've already got my stuff kind of laying around. Little trunk at the foot of the bed here. It's my pack, and it's got a little sink. I've already got some of my stuff laying out, but you get the idea. Got my stuff hanging up there, trying to dry some stuff out. So that's it. That is my room. Oh yeah, it's got like a little, it's got a ceiling fan. It's got like a, I guess it's kind of open up on top over there. So that's it.